What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised. Are you hooked on Disney princesses? Itching for the latest news on everyone's favorite family-friendly animated royalty? Well, don't worry, we've got your fix. After the chilling mega successes of Disney's Frozen in 2013, the company was eager for its next princess sensation. Filling the glass slipper left behind by the wildly popular Frozen seemed like pretty big shoes to fill, even for a princess. That's when Moana hit the scene, surfing her way to the big screen and into our hearts in 2016. The 3D animated family-friendly adventure tells the story of the spunky Polynesian princess Moana, voiced by then newcomer Auli'i Cravalho. When Moana's island is presented from a new and unknown threat, she's teamed up with a dastardly demigod named Maui, voiced by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to save her people. It was the first Disney princess to feature a Polynesian princess, seamlessly weaving Polynesian culture and mythology into Moana's fabric. Instantly charming audiences with her spunky demeanor and go-getter attitude, Moana became the hit that Disney was hoping for. At the end of its theatrical run, the film had grossed nearly $700 million worldwide, going on to receive 2 Academy Awards. Of course, a Disney princess is nothing without her songs, and once again, Moana was set up to compete against Elsa's Let It Go. Disney knew the value in creating a soundtrack that could compete with their icy princess Elsa was a frosty ordeal, so they brought in legendary composer Lin-Manuel Miranda, who was fresh off the heels of the super Broadway hit Hamilton. Miranda didn't disappoint. Like Moana's principal solo song, How Far I'll Go, gave Elsa a run for her money. The choice to go with the quirky and talented Miranda was a perfect choice, as the composer has an uncanny ability to create fascinating characters through music. The film also enjoys the whimsical charm of Dwayne Johnson as Maui and his particular memorable tune, You're Welcome, showing a truly masterful blend of writing, casting, and composing to bring together Disney's first princess film to feature a Polynesian princess. There was a lot that went into breathing life into Moana. According to The Hollywood Reporter, directors Ron Clements and John Musker needed over 5 years of research before going into the next phase of production. Clements and Musker, coming off their success as directors of 2009's The Princess and the Frog, first became inspired to create a story based on Polynesian mythology after learning about the demigod Maui. They conducted extensive research for the film, traveling to Fiji, Samoa, and Tahiti to meet true Polynesians. Amazingly, their original concept for the story didn't even include Moana, centering solely on the character of Maui. However, it was during these research trips that Clements became inspired to incorporate the daughter of a chief. The directors recruited expert help on the subject of Polynesian culture, receiving input from an Oceanic Story Trust. The trust consulted on the film's cultural accuracy. They helped in important sensitive issues, including suggesting the change from making Maui bald, as he was originally conceived, to a scene that involved Moana throwing coconuts in anger. With such a dedicated creative team and such painstakingly detailed world building, the potential for something beyond the conclusion of the film was always there. Even before the film's release, Clements and Musker made comments about the possibility of sequels and spin-offs. In November 2016, Clements said, "Whether or not she does in the movies, you feel like she's just getting started." In an interview with Collider, "It's not quite a happily ever after story. You could spin it off in different directions. There's an ensemble cast, and they could emerge into something. We'll see how it's received and where it goes," he added. His comments tie in seamlessly with Moana's own anthem words, "There's just no telling how far I'll go." And how well received it was. Ever since its release, fans of Moana have been clamoring for a continuation of the story of their beloved character. Fans would have to try to be patient, though, as Disney's animation studio is notoriously slow in the sequel department. Fans of Frozen had to wait 6 years after its theatrical debut in 2013 for the sequel to be released last year. Sometimes films have decade-long hiatuses. as recently seen with Pixar's release of Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 3 before it. However, a sequel for The Nautical Seafarer seemed inevitable, as both critics and fans agreed that Moana was yet another classic installment in Disney's massive catalog of quality family entertainment. Sometimes dreams do come true, and after much speculation, it seems Disney has finally announced that Moana 2 is in very early stages. Disney has been keeping details surrounding the projects under tight wrap, as information on the follow-up film has been scarce. However, the things we do know have left us excited and dying for more details. Everything seems right on track for Disney to recapture the magic that made the first Moana so successful. In this video, we're going to be giving you a first look at Moana 2, sharing everything we know up until this point. Fans will be glad to know that all early reports indicate that Auli'i Cravalho and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be reprising their roles as Moana and Maui respectively. The Rock is one of the busiest actors in Hollywood, and no information has been given about when principal filming will commence. Some have speculated that The Rock's busy schedule could dictate when the voice recordings get done for Moana 2, but in all likelihood, the production isn't even at that phase of production. Fans will likely be waiting for at least a few more years until Moana 2 reaches theaters. It's worth noting that the sequel for Moana wasn't officially announced at the 2019 D23 Expo, an annual conference in which Disney announces all of their upcoming films and projects. However, there is hope for fans that the film will be released sometime in late 2020. There are several movie slots available on Disney's film timetable from 2020 to 2021, and Moana 2 could be one of them. Rumors have it that the plan for Disney is to release a sequel to another popular animated film, Zootopia, in the summer of 2020 and follow that up with Moana 2 around November. Thankfully, though, we do know that the story is being worked on by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who will return as the composer and one of the principal writers. According to Miranda's father, Louis, in an interview with Page Six, Disney and his son have already discussed plans for the sequel. Though Disney and Miranda have been tight-lipped about the details, it has been rumored that the story will introduce a Latina princess, making what would be another representation breakthrough for the Disney princess catalog. To date, we have yet to see a Latina Disney princess, something that Moana 2 seeks to remedy. Lin-Manuel Miranda has roots in Puerto Rico, a Caribbean island with a lot of cultural history. It could be possible that the ocean-exploring Moana finds her way across an island with some Latin Caribbean flair to it. While it does seem that all the core elements of the production that made the first Moana shine brighter than Tamatoa, namely bringing back Auli'i Cravalho, The Rock, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, it remains unclear whether or not the same team of Ron Clements and John Musker will return for directorial duties. It is also unknown whether screenwriter Jared Bush will return to helm the script, or if the studio will look in to bring a new writer. New Zealander filmmaker and actor Taika Waititi was originally slated to create the first script for Moana, but split from the project due to scheduling conflicts with his film, What We Do in the Shadows. With a new opportunity available, Disney's animation studio may reach out to Waititi to see if he's interested in crafting the script for the upcoming sequel. However, unfortunately, Disney keeps a pretty tight lid on things, as they view plot leaks as really damaging to their success. With fans restless with anticipation for updates on the sequel, many have taken to creating their fan fiction, adaptations, and predictions for what might happen in the follow-up flick. One particularly popular fan fiction called Moana 2, The Lost Island, was released on IdeaWiki. Presenting itself as speculation, as much as it is fan fiction, The Lost Island tells a story in which Moana must once again team up with Maui and find a solution to a new problem plaguing her island. The palm trees on it are disappearing. The story brings them to a place called the Lost Island, which happens to be the only island with palm trees left on it. The fan-created tale unfolds with more crab-like villains, Polynesian aesthetics, and quirky charm that was the hallmark of the first film. It even introduces a potential love interest for Moana. Reception to this fan fiction has been well received, with some people going so far to create their trailers. Nowadays, YouTube is filled with fans creating their trailers for the Moana sequel, each one with their unique ideas for what the next part of her maritime adventures should be. Despite the positive reaction, however, it's highly unlikely that Disney will implement any of the plot points from this story, if only for the fact that it's already publicly displayed information. Sometimes, though, fan fictions and pressure from the audience can influence the production of a movie. So if the fans are loud enough in their support, then perhaps Disney may try to lift and incorporate some of the elements that have made The Lost Island such popular speculation. One thing is for sure though, the sequel to Moana will once again have big shoes to fill, as expectations from Disney will be through the roof. Frozen's successor, Frozen 2, brought in a staggering $1.443 billion worldwide, exceeding all expectations and beating out the numbers for the first film installment. Believe it or not, according to Disney, Frozen 2 is the highest grossing animated film of all time. However, living in the shadow of Frozen is familiar grounds for the creators of Moana, and the stars seem to be aligned to deliver another amazing Moana movie. That wraps up this video for Movie Rays. What do you guys think is in store for Moana and Maui in their upcoming adventure? Where do you want to see the story taken? What do you think of these rumors? Whatever you think, let us know. Comments are always encouraged. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to see future content on all things film, television, and pop culture. See you next time.